I was born in Afghanistan, brought up in a lot of different countries in the world. My father, as a diplomat, brought the family around all over the world, and we lived in lots of very poor places and places that were riven with civil war. So because I was seeing this from the eyes of a diplomat, partly I was inculcated with the sense that we need to do something about violence and something about economic unfairness. But it was also really important that I saw my father doing that work in a way where he, as a diplomat, had to carry the water of the American foreign policy system, and that meant sometimes lying. And this was one of the reasons why, on the one hand, I wanted to do all these things my dad did, but I wanted to do it in a way where I tell the truth. So that background matters a lot, I think, to my choices to be an academic. My wife is Dutch, and I felt embraced by the city and the university. So when we moved here in 2001, I knew it was the place that I wanted to retire.
Dag Nicole.
Yeah. I was excited because I love what Amsterdam represents in the history of the world. This is a kind of a paradise for people who care about the radical Enlightenment and freedom and justice, economic fairness. All these parts of the social sciences where I was going to work were based in the Oost-Indisch and the Oude-Mannerheijspoort. These are, anchors of the Dutch radical Enlightenment in some way. And I study economic globalization, and where better to work than to be at the place that was the first wave of the grand globalization we associate with the Dutch Golden Age.
Dus dit is de Oost-Indisch huis, het hoofdkantoor van de VOC. En inderdaad, de AISSR was daarin gevestigd. Politiek-economisch kamp van kolonisering werd allemaal hier bestudeerd. In de Hof van de Leeuw, kan je zeggen. Ja.
I really believe that you need to combine quantitative, systematic kind of way of doing things with a ideographic, immersive, walking with people in real politics. All these things are so manifested in the AISSR that when it comes to the leadership role that I have tried to fulfill as a child of a diplomat, I've tried to be a bridge builder. This is a city, more than most places, that is very diverse in terms of the ethnic and economic and sort of life choice backgrounds of people. It was a beautiful quality of Amsterdam that I noticed the first time I was in the city. But in the 20 years that I've lived here, there's been this serious backlash in the rise of the radical right against the cosmopolitan Enlightenment, and it's a big part of my own academic work now is to try to understand what that's about and do something about it to kind of rescue the sort of Enlightenment humanism that matters so much to me.
3, 2, 1.
The main thing is to try to get people to talk to each other.
You're welcome.
To disagree with each other openly, and hopefully in a way that involves really wanting to understand the different opinion of the other. And it's based on this sort of faith that if you talk to each other, you will at least learn to respect each other. Another of the really big changes that have taken place in the last 20 years is the breakdown of various kinds of social rights. And one of the things that I want to do is understand how we can reform the welfare state in a way that makes it compatible with the Enlightenment freedoms that I care about, make it easy to move and economic openness, but at the same time protect the social democracy in Europe and in the world. It's one of the things that I'm hoping to do in my sabbatical period in Florence at the EUI, the European University Institute. I'm hoping to pursue exactly that ambition. One of the first places I ever lived in Amsterdam was on the Singel, and it was right by the Multatuli Bridge. Multatuli is the expression of the fundamental critique and reckoning with the ugly side of Dutch capitalism and globalization, the VOC. I've always been here as a sort of an American in Amsterdam, but I have a Dutch civic identity. I care about the future of the Dutch polity and the Dutch society. I see it as a model that's more important to me to defend and deepen than I feel wanting to do the same with respect to the US. The idea of social democracy that lives here, that's become my identity.
Dit is inderdaad waar het allemaal begonnen is voor mij. Mijn eerste appartement in Amsterdam.